Greetings, my name is Talon, and at the time of making this portfolio, I am a former pro and caster. I have played 2 Pro League seasons, one for Ferocity in Season 3, finishing top 4 in North America, and Onslaught in Year 2 Season 1. I have been competing in Siege since the beta days and have been heavily involved in the pro and competitive scene since. Since then, I have been on many teams, each better than the last. I have casted for nearly 4 months now, every single week, in both the CCS Invite League and the CCS Open Tournament hosted on the CCS Esports 2 Twitch channel, which is mainly run by Interrobang and myself. The Invite League is ran 2 days a week for 4 hours a night, so I'm no stranger to long days of production. I am putting together this compilation of clips, which consists mainly of myself analyzing gameplay live. I consider myself to be very similar to that of the style of Kickstar, very objective, and using my past Pro League experience to determine what went wrong and how teams can better themselves in each situation. Often I have dual responsibilities, such as operating the camera as well as analyzing, which makes for a challenging but fun experience. I am also known for pioneering the use of third-party drawing tools to go further in depth to give the viewer the best experience possible while explaining what went wrong in the strategy and effectively give alternatives. Pictures are worth 1,000 words, or so the saying goes. You are about to watch just a little bit from my casting career. Some of these clips are very new and include the third-party tools that I helped introduce to the scene, while others are older solo casts where I ran the entire show. Solo cast as well as a camera while analyzing takes away from the experience. However, if I was to cast for ESL with a production studio behind my back, I know that it can become something even better. I hope you enjoy what you see in here. I would love to cast for the best that Rainbow Six has to offer. Without further ado, enjoy. Not sure if they're going to be playing it heavily from downstairs or from above. You know, security is very hard to hold from above. Or excuse me, customs is hard to hold from above because you have to hold security from above. And it's hard to hold security, honestly, because you have so many entryways, you know, that you have to start worrying about. Looks like they will be putting this mirror up. You know, nothing too crazy here. You know, we will be seeing this mirror up here that faces down, looks towards east stairs. But if that's it, I mean, they should be opening up these 2 hatches here. But there's no, like, shotgun holes at all. Right here is another good shotgun. Over right here is above into A. But there's no setup at all. They're going to be playing really heavily from below. Looks like ISO going to be taking Sergeant down for the count almost immediately. Looks like he was going to be going for a spawn peek. Fantastic job. That's exactly what they were trying to do in the trophy in kitchen attack. But it doesn't exactly work the same. That's for sure. There's a lot more places that you can be when you're sitting in the trophy kitchen, but when you're looking from above down into that basement, it's very difficult, I'd say. All the spots are fairly predictable. There's too many angles for the defenders to watch, and you can just pick them apart from there. So that sort of attack works. They got all those hatches open. I like it. Now, looking like we will be having a fairly similar attack. You know, they only have a Habana, which means they're kind of limited to a back push. I would fully expect them to go into Big Garage and maybe push down into Wine Hallway. Maybe open up the hallways, or the wall, excuse me, facing towards Big Garage, so that way Blackbeard can actually get a good angle. The one that Jaeger is now reinforcing. That's what I want to see open, and then use the second one. Now, we will be having a mirror on Pinhead. Pinhead playing that mirror. He does still have 2 of them. There is a Twitch now. So these could very well get opened up. We will probably be seeing, we will be seeing a mirror inside of this closet. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy indeed. I fully expect the second one to go onto the single wall facing B, or on the single, no, it has to be there because they would have put it on the other side if they wanted to face Wine. A lot of teams have actually been starting to place it the other way. You know, Pinhead's putting it towards me, towards the camera right now. You could actually flip the reinforcement, flip the mirror around, and go the other way. That is a very viable option if you know that the attacking team doesn't have a thermite or doesn't run it. Of course, with a 4-man attack, I wouldn't expect a thermite, so I'd like to see it facing the other way, because they're probably going to be coming from either the blue hall or honestly just a full-on Wine push. That's what I totally expect. Yep, there we go. We do have the Blackbeard and the Ash over towards Big Garage. I'd fully expect to see everyone else kind of chilling on the drone. Yeah, just now coming up from spawn. Ooh, he gets it. There he goes. Can he get this number 2? He won't get number 2, but that is 1 Twitch run for 1 mirror. Alrighty. Into round number 11. No matter what, this match is over after this. OBR deciding to go and hold downstairs. There is a buck on Pinhead, so not exactly sure if this was intentional or not. Will we be seeing any sort of upstairs hold? We will be seeing an upstairs hold. Esk and Sergeant going to be the lucky fellers to try and hold upstairs. Sergeant gets down to about 25 HP. The mirror does get open. Not looking good for their upstairs hold because S drops down. Sergeant drops down as well. So this is immediately going to be starting kicking things off. Nice is dropping Blanco. OBR down by 1. Puts him into a 5-on-3. I thought ISO was going to be able to take down his own teammate. But with that now, OBK now has upstairs control. They can start bucking open the floor. They can start opening up whatever they need to. They can start applying pressure from above. Get those hatches open. Use that thermite. Open up whatever hatches they need. Nice is able to pick up and take the head off of Esk. It's all down to Sergeant. All down to Shredder. 2-on-5. Not looking good for OBR. If OBK wins this round, that is going to be the series. There goes down Shredder. All left in the hands of Sergeant. Not looking in the right direction. Blanco is out of the picture. Esk is out of the picture. Shredder is now out of the picture. It's all down to Sergeant in a 1v5. I think this is going to be it. I think OBK is going to be your map winners. ISO deleting Sergeant off this map. That is going to be GG to OBK. They take the series 2-0. Well, we will be having Shredder on the pulse. Last time we saw him downstairs in dining, but he will be seeing Pinhead. Pinhead realizes he has been spotted out. Will he be jumping up and over? Echo is already down to about 25 HP over on the side. Here comes a grenade, but just barely misses Shredder. He's down to about 30 HP now. We now have 2 onto Shredder's tail. He is going to likely, he's going to go ahead and get the heck out of Dodge. That's for sure. He's going to pull up his pulse scanner, realizes that this is not going to be a situation that he wants to have. Blanco, while we missed it, is now down for the count. Sergeant also looking to get downed. He goes out without much of a fight. He tries to put one on. Shredder's still down on the other side of the site. We do have Esk as well still in the site. He is going to be trying to hold inside a basement. This looks like an impossible task. Rambo, comes down and gets one. And that's going to be S down. It's all up to Shredder now on the pulse. And he is in for the second round in a row in a 1v5 situation. Oh man, I gotta say, this is really unfortunate for him. Nice is able to be the one again to clean it up. I just want to go over, they do need to make sure they take down Terrace, get Terrace control. You know, open up all these windows. Make sure they can stop this run out right here. That's super, super critical. Making sure you stop that run out is huge. You know, once they get that, it's really just a matter of opening up Dragon Wall, opening up a wall, opening up all the windows, forcing all the defenders. All the defenders are going to be forced to move back and out and into Lounge. Lounge is kind of like their strong point over when you're playing this site. And so once you have control of this, you know, it's really just, you just need to take down all these really individual soft walls and then go for that A plant. You know, go for this A plant. Yes, it is destructible. Make sure there's no pulse underneath. Once you make sure there's no pulse underneath, and that's fine. You can just sneak a planter right in here. You know, the bombs are here. You know, you can plant right behind here. And there's really nowhere to go. You know, having this terrace control is super, super important, as well as Dragon, for multiple reasons. So, again, making sure you can force all the defenders into this lounge area is really going to help them try and take the site. Because right then, you know, we didn't really see anything all that impressive. Rush from the bottom of main stairs, like if you can from the bottom of main stairs, like really just shoot real quick, just an ash into the back of that armory wall and then just rush in. So that's really the only reason why you would want to do that. But why put 2? You know, why put 2 reinforcements there? Because all you have to do is just put 1, and then the person rushing in also has to worry about being like checking close left and both close right and far right as well. So, and then of course, you know, you also have to shift over where you put the ash hole by like 1 reinforcement. So in doing that, they kind of left dirt open, and when you leave dirt open, guess what? They're just going to push into dirt just like they've done. For the first time, we saw, I believe this Titangles on Thermite, or anyone in this game so far, push down into dirt, and guess what? It won them the round. You know, all they have to do is just hold that angle. Whoever was on Mira, I think it was Dash on Mira or something like that, and guess what? You can't do anything. Like, you just have to sit there behind that second box there, and you're done. You know, there's nothing you can do. So why not just necessary risks? You know, why go and like do all these things when all you have to do is just fall out, and that would have easily wasted another 10 seconds. That would have maybe wasted another drone. You can even sit in oil pit if you want, kill the drones jumping down, and then run away for that, just for that little extra spice, you know? So I don't know, it's kind of confusing to me, why he decided to like sit inside a garage. Again, it probably just comes down to him just being pretty confident about it, and there's nothing really wrong with that. But when you start losing individual rounds to it, that's where you have to really, start coming back. Because if this game comes to a 6-5, guess what? He's really going to be like, oh, dang, I actually probably should have rotated out of garage. I shouldn't have stayed. I shouldn't have done all these confident things. Because when you start being overconfident, there's a big difference between being just confident and knowing what to do and being overconfident. When you overstep that bounds, that's when you start losing those individual rounds, coming down to just like close one-on-ones, one-on-twos, which is what we saw. Rome kind of wasn't set up to try and counter that. Sweater and Exa were both kind of downstairs in the kitchen area when they were completely going for like an armory master sort of take. So the fact that the Rome wasn't really ready for that meant that all you had to do was just kind of sit your Thatcher or just another support player, sit him inside a garage or sit him outside a front door, and there's nothing they can do. The Romers are forced to go up white stairs at that point, and they can't really help their team. Huge area, and as I was saying, in the middle of the round, we don't have anyone coming in from either side. They didn't even open the front door. That allowed Sweater to rotate up, pick up Exo. There's so many things that they could have done, but they just didn't. Because if, say, for example, if you put one on big window, that wouldn't have allowed Exo to rotate out of that bridge, which means that whoever the Ash player was, I forgot who it was, would have been able to kill Exo, because I think Exo, as soon as he took a bunch of damage, he ran out of bridge into like the master hallway. If you would put even one guy on the big window or even gotten him in Dorm's main, he could have easily gotten a kill onto Exo for free, basically, because he was sprinting out. But when you don't apply any pressure, when you don't even open up doors, you don't even open up windows, that just allows them that free roam. And when you allow them free roam, they're going to pick you apart no matter what. You have to really try to take out those different routes that the roamers can use to run around. And if you don't do that, guess what? You're going to end up like that just happened. The roamers are just going to kill you, and you're not going to have enough time or the utility to do it. Cool. What if he had hit the second one? What would that have killed the thermite? Probably. So then all of a sudden you bring it back to a 3-on-3, and now someone else has to plant. So that's a 3-on-2 with one planting. So I feel like if he had able to hit those smokes, that really could have turned the tide of the round. Now, in terms of timing, it was a little bit unfortunate that the roamers couldn't quite do just a little bit more, because then that would have put even more pressure on the attackers. And the reason why I'm bringing all this up is because they were literally just on the edge of being able to kind of flip it from an attacker round to a defender round. Because if they had had those couple extra seconds there, then it would have forced the Buck, Vayne, I think it was, to hop on in. You could have easily killed him from the double window setup. I mean, there's a lot of extra things you can do when you can just take away just 20 more seconds, just 20 seconds more, and you could have done just that much. If Crooked would have been able to stay alive in bridge, even if he had just stayed in the corner, I think he ended up peeking an angle that the Buck had. If he had just, stayed back a little bit, you would have been in a much better position. Yeah, for sure. But honestly, I can't really fault them for that mistake, because I think they were honestly expecting a kitchen trophy hold coming from Bittersweet, whereas I think they kind of juked him out. Bittersweet, great job. They went downstairs. They didn't have the Habana. I think they were really relying on that Habana to really get done what they needed to. I'm actually kind of questioning, but why would you want a thermite in the beginning? Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you there, and I think the big difference in that round and some of the rounds we've seen before is Bittersweet's experience. Bittersweet has that experience in these sort of situations, in these sort of rounds, and we saw that in the fact that Trippin and King Leo are playing in a completely different spot. They're rotating around, which also, just before I continue, we're seeing a downstairs basement versus OT. So this is like a, hey, we want to try to trick you sort of thing. We're not going to have your Habana. They're bringing a thermite this time. Very interesting pickup indeed. Maybe they called the bluff, but so we're seeing them adapt. I think more than what we're seeing Nexus adapt, and so that really won them that round, because I think Nexus was really expecting to have to kill roamers upstairs in library. But when you're kind of expecting one thing and you don't get that one thing that you're expecting, it just doesn't really work out in the end. You start doing one thing and then you just get away from you, and they couldn't quite hunt all the roamers. I think it was relaxed as well as the fireplace ledge as well. So when you don't have that there, that really gives the roamers a ton of freedom to work with. And honestly, if you're ever playing in your ranked game, why not just go and hold that K9 spot? Just kind of hold that down. You'll get tons of kills, because there's nowhere else to go. You either go through basement or you go through that library hallway, which is of course visible. So really, really key spot to have, and getting that early pick, I think, set them up huge for that round.
Absolutely. And we saw the round before, it was actually King Leo that was up there, so it doesn't have to be a Blackbeard. Blackbeard definitely is a force up there because of the window. But
Blue, while Buck getting rid of that player inside of back armory. Speaking of back armory, we do not have a pulse. Now, we have been seeing a lot of teams play that pulse, you know, really try and keep that Buck off and out of kitchen. However, without the introduction or without the inclusion of pulse, we're not going to be able to really prevent them from taking that kitchen control. You know, you do have the Echo, but that really isn't going to be doing all that much in the thick of it. So, very interesting to see that they just did not decide to bring it. And that they will just be giving up back armory control. Honestly, they put one barbed wire on the hatch, so their esports really needed to get upstairs there. You know, you had Blue, I mentioned in the beginning of the round, you know, I was like, dude, what are you doing down in tunnel? And honestly, I am standing by it. What are you doing in tunnel? The bomb site's in bar and stock. Why are you in tunnel? Actually, tunnel is the furthest away from the bomb sites that you could be. Like, what? Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you all the way there? Like, there's no point. Are you reinforcing it? Why are you reinforcing that? They're gonna get in anyway. Like, there's just no, I don't see, like, no one's ever gonna push downstairs, so there's no point. You know, whoever pushes from downstairs, what's the point? So you can push upstairs, but that gives you an advantage. When you can push downstairs, you're at a disadvantage because you're pushing up the stairs. No reason for him to be down there. Maybe one, like, if you're trying to play on main stairs and you need to rotate back. Ooh, early pickup from Exo. Punishing Nyx up to who's going to be the big playmaker this round. This is what a lot of these games come on down to, you know, challenger level, CCS level, comes down to just individual plays, making sure what has to happen gets done. They do also have that Echo drone. Once again, we have not yet seen Yokai really affect the game though. You know, we've seen Yokai be good for a little bit of intel, but we haven't seen them really use it to their advantage fully. I think that Dot Dash has just gotten picked off every single time. Now we will be seeing Green Frog on that pulse, like I've been saying. Great job from them for bringing that. Honestly, if Exo, or excuse me, Miner keeps making these great changes, they're going to be winning this game. Right now, Paradox hasn't really been changing up anything crazy, so we'll have to see. Now, we do have Exo currently inside a kitchen. Now, this is going to be his attempt at that individual play that I was talking about. Maybe he can catch JT up, catch him off guard. Somewhere Mayhem playing over in closet right now. Nyx and Heavy are also nearby. Not sure where Vortex went. Vortex might have gone upstairs as well. Now there is no batteries on it, so they're going to go ahead and open it immediately right on up. We could be seeing a very fast plant here. Here comes Blue with the plant. Now there is no glass, so I'm not sure why you would decide to smoke yourself off. Interesting decision there. I like the idea of just getting right in and planting. However, why would you smoke it yourself? Why wouldn't you smoke deep so that way they can cover you? Instead, you're smoking yourself when you don't have a glass because it's banned. It just doesn't make any sense to me why Blue would smoke right on himself. But there is now only one smoke gas grenade remaining, and there is still 2 minutes left. There's still 2 minutes left. So, honestly, 50 HP for 2 smoke grenades. It's a trade-off at this point. They do have a Mira, so they should know when things are going to be happening. Montang is pushed all the way up with the diffuser, so he's going to be baiting out the last smoke grenade. He won't even take another tick of damage. They are now out of smoke charge. Great job, honestly. That's very, very good. Now the question is, Blue is now out of smoke himself. Exo was able to be picked up by Vortex upstairs, so he wasn't able to hunt the roamers solo. So now you all of a sudden have a couple of guys just kind of chilling outside. Looks like it's going to be, Twitch is going to be out by herself. Dot Dash is up. Blue's pushing on in. A little bit of flash is coming through. Not going to affect it through the Mira. Blue's going to be going for the plant. They're going to be pushing right on up. There is no cover. Why isn't Green covering? Looks like Heavy's able to pick up Blue. Nyx is able to pick up Wonderful. So that's the diffuser down. It's all up to Green Frog outside. And wherever Dot Dash is with